Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Quick shout out to my new or updated patrons, Faisal J, Jim K, and David May. Thank you guys for choosing to support the channel. First up, unfortunately, the Model X has been pushed back yet again as multiple people on Twitter have confirmed this news. For Kim Java, this has been their 5th delay for the Model X. Dirty Tesla placed his order February 2021 and is now also expecting a July 2022 delivery, and the Kilowatts, who placed their order May of 2021. So what in the world is going on with the Model X? Well, we know that Elon has been very critical of how Tesla has handled this situation. We also know that most of the problems are stemming from certain trim pieces for the interior of the refreshed version. We know previously Tesla limited the seating configuration to the 6-seater because at the time that was the highest demand, but as of now they are offering the 5, 6, and 7. However, for new orders, we're looking at January of 2023, and for the Plaid, we're still looking at October of this year. Tesla and Liontown have entered into a binding term sheet for a supply of lithium. This is an Australian-based supplier. This supply should be coming from the Kathleen Valley Lithium project in Western Australia. The initial 5-year term is expected to begin in 2024, where Tesla is expected to purchase 100,000 dry metric tons in the first year, increasing to 150,000 DMT per year in subsequent years. We do not get a financial value for this contract because the pricing is determined using a formula-based mechanism referencing market prices for lithium hydroxide monohydrate. It should be noted the agreement is subject to the parties completing negotiations and executing detailed agreements by May 30th of this year. Otherwise, the agreement will terminate. Liontown has now contracted over half of its expected production from the Kathleen Valley Lithium project during the first 5 years of operation. This chart from mining.com breaks down global lithium production, and 2021 is in yellow because it is an estimate. Not all of the data is in yet, but 4 mineral operations in Australia, 2 brine operations in Argentina and Chile, and 2 brine and 1 mineral operation in China accounted for the majority of world lithium production. So roughly how many cars would this allow Tesla to manufacture? Well, earlier this year, LG Solution actually signed a deal with this same mine for 700,000 dry metric tons, which is roughly 7 times the amount of Tesla. 700,000 dry metric tons, or DMT, of lithium spodumene concentrate is equivalent to producing 100,000 tons of lithium hydroxide, or roughly equivalent to 2.5 million EVs. So if we take this and divide it by 7, that's about 350,000 vehicles per year that could be enabled from this one deal with Liontown. Speaking of Australia, Tesla is yet again butting heads with some of the leaders, this time on a different front, talking about battery energy storage. In a submission to the Australian Energy Operators Draft 2022, the Integrated System Plan, or ISP, Tesla describes batteries as the new clean peaker, outlining their superior flexibility, multiple grid service options, and their ability to deliver longer duration storage. This is a very common critique of battery energy storage systems, so I just want to highlight what Tesla had to say on that point. This is all stemming from Tesla being dismayed by the AEMO's forecast of another 9 gigawatt of gas peaker plants. We disagree with this result. Tesla says battery technology has advanced to the point where it can provide faster response for a much lower cost. And here's one of the main points where these BESS, or battery energy storage systems, have to prove themselves. Tesla also seeks to dismiss the idea that battery storage is limited to 2 or 4 hour duration. Batteries are modular and complementary, such that 2 independent 2-hour systems may be deployed and concatenated, just linked together, to provide up to 4 hours of duration, or 2 4-hour battery systems able to provide up to 8 hours of depth for intraday energy shifting, in much the same way that behind-the-meter batteries can be aggregated and considered as a fleet when part of a VPP. Honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think that the real ramp for Tesla Energy won't be until the back half of this decade, once batteries are less of a limiting factor. Yes, Tesla's new Megapack facility in Lathrop will be a huge help from where Tesla is at today, but Tesla is still globally at such a small scale in terms of energy deployment. There's such a long way to go. What I'm getting at is the demand is going to be so huge for the service. However, until Tesla can start fulfilling a significant portion of that, we might be looking at 2025 and beyond for the battery constraint to lessen. Tesla is now hiring in Palo Alto for a controls engineer for, yes, the Tesla bot. Tesla is on a path to build humanoid bipedal, or basically 2-leg robots at scale, to automate repetitive and boring tasks for manufacturing and logistics. As a member of the software team, you'll design and implement reliable and efficient control code for bipedal locomotion, object manipulation, and any other useful maneuvers. You'll work on improving the robot's behavior in the real world, reflecting those capabilities in a simulation engine for evaluations and faster iterations. The code you will write will at term run in millions of humanoid robots across the world, therefore will be held to high quality standards. Here we get some interesting findings from a Kelley Blue Book survey. Tesla is nipping at the heels of Lexus and BMW. This is a consumer perception survey just telling us which luxury brands buyers are considering when looking for a new vehicle. For the first time, Tesla climbed to the number 3 spot after a 3 percentage point gain. And looking at the quarterly consideration growth for the Model 3 and Y, coming in at 56 and 43% respectively, quarter over quarter. And here's a stat about SUVs for you. They outsold cars and trucks combined in 2021. And a record of 70% of luxury shoppers considered an SUV, while just 49% looked at a car. The Tesla Model Y ranked as the most shopped luxury SUV for the first time, ousting the Lexus RX. And by the end of 2022, for next year's iteration of the survey, I would firmly expect Tesla to be sitting in the number 1 spot. This right here is actually a much bigger win than I think most people would assume. NHTSA will now allow adaptive driving beam headlights on new vehicles. Official as of yesterday, NHTSA has issued a final rule allowing automakers to install adaptive driving beam headlights. ADBs use automatic headlight beam switching technology to shine less light on occupied areas of the road and more light on unoccupied areas. If you're not familiar, here are some very good videos showing this in the real world. And while you watch this, if you're wondering if your vehicle has this, well, all Model 3s since roughly early 2021 have shipped with Matrix headlights. Only performance Model Ys so far have received them. Right now, in North America, the Model Y long range, as far as I know, does not yet have the Matrix headlights. You can check for sure by running the light show. Your car should project Tesla onto whatever is in front of it with the Matrix headlights. You should also be able to actually see the pixels, as Tesla is using Samsung's Pixel technology. So why is this such a big deal? Well, mostly for driving at night. It's almost like driving with your high beams on all the time. But rather than having to flick them off when a car comes, this technology will do it for you, hence them being adaptive. And the way BMW implements this in their cars, and presumably how Tesla will as well, they use cameras to detect traffic at night, and then they send that info to the headlights for the headlights to adapt. What in the world took so long for this tech to be approved? Well, there was a law from 1967 forbidding both high beam and low beam lights from functioning simultaneously. And the actual headlights with this new Matrix technology will look something like this. And I personally have a few family members that hate driving at night because they think it's hard to see, so this will make that experience much better and safer. Tesla Owners UK reports the first 25 or so new Model Ys were handed over to the lucky UK owners, with a lot of these new features that many were hoping for. Apparently, these cars were being delivered with less than 50% state of charge, so Tesla offered the new owners free supercharging for the day, and there's expected to be a massive delivery event at Southampton Docks on February 19th. According to Superchargers Daily, he got word this site is indeed the new Barstow supercharger. Based on the size of the lot, it looks like this will be much bigger than Firebaugh and might even have a lounge. The number of stalls is not yet confirmed, but he's ballparking 60 to 80. Here's a Tesla Easter egg you might not be aware of. And if you're into that type of thing, I will link this article below to a bunch of the other Tesla Easter eggs. Elon briefly mentioned this in passing on the Q4 call, but I think it's a really monumental moment for Tesla. Tesla's accumulated deficit reached $6.3 billion in Q2 2019. I asked if Rivian and Lucid will go deeper into the red in the future. My answer would be yes. Tesla is now, however, cumulatively profitable as of the end of 2021. And this really is such an incredible feat in the face of unprecedented opposition this decade. So job well done to the Tesla team. And if you're wondering, as of September 30th, 2021, Lucid's accumulated deficit is $5 billion currently, and Rivian's is sitting at $3.9 billion. And if you're wondering how this tweet with my little baby Twitter account got so much traction, it's because Elon liked it.
We've followed Luminar for many years now, and it's been a fascinating company to watch grow from a $50 million, $100 million, $200 million company just exiting stealth mode to now a $6 billion company that went public just last February or December, actually, under the ticker LAZR. Here we have Tom Fenimore, the CFO of Luminar. Tom joined Luminar in May of 2020. He was previously head of global automotive and co-head of the industrials group at Jefferies. Before that, he was at Goldman. And a bit about his company before he introduces more of it. Luminar is a global leader in autonomous vehicle solutions, namely LiDAR. I'll let Tom explain what LiDAR is for anyone that doesn't know, but LiDAR is a necessary component for autonomous vehicles, these robotaxis that are ending up on a lot more streets these days. And the technology is recently being adopted by automakers that want ultra-safe cars with a human being still behind the wheel. Only a few years ago, LiDAR costs between $25,000 to $30,000 per unit, but Luminar's brought the cost down to below $1,000, which is crazy, especially as it's going after an industry estimated to be worth over $150 billion by 2030. Luminar's partnerships include Volvo, SAIC, Audi, Pony AI, Daimler Trucks, Intel's Mobileye, Airbus, and you're going to start seeing Luminar's Iris LiDAR come standard on the new Volvo electric XC90.
And the last thing I want to say today, it's been on my heart more so than usual today. To all of my patrons, I just genuinely want to thank you for choosing to support the work that I do here. I really think it's incredible and it means a lot to Ashley and I. So really, thank you guys very much. And I hope all of you guys have an awesome day.